I believe that leaders inspire others to get involved. They motivate people to do things they wouldn't do without that leadership, and they get them to commit their resources and their time to a chosen cause.
For decades, this year's Pinnacle Award honoree has championed the advancement of the Association of the Wall and Ceiling Industry across the country and around the world. He's a man who loves to travel, and so it's not unusual that Bob Geyer would begin his excellent adventure as a pioneer of sorts.
Bob was one of the primary liaisons between the exhibitors, manufacturers, and suppliers with our convention committee for a lot of years as an associate member to AWCI. In 1990, when we abolished the associate membership classification, Bob was the first previous associate member to be selected by the nominating committee to start through the chairs, going all the way and serving as our president.
He was the only vendor who's ever been made as the president of AWCI. Really speaks volumes for the esteem that the organization held for him.
Bob was a great statesman for the association. Because of his position with his company, he knew everybody everywhere, having been in the industry for 30 years. Most of our presidents are very familiar with their region and some of the national members. Bob had a feeling for everybody and the history of every company.
AWCI has always been a big part of Bob's life. He spent more time on the executive committee than anyone that I know of, from being the chairman of the CSC to beginning his trip through the chairs and becoming president, then immediate past president. Then he was immediately returned to the chairman of the CSC committee and stayed on the executive committee for 10 or 12 years.
A lot of people will come in and do it for a couple of years and then they drop out. They just lose some of the passion, but he's always had the passion for it.
Bob used his prodigious powers of persuasion to encourage his company, Wagner Grabber, to donate a classic car for auction to benefit the AWCI Foundation.
Well, Bob is one of the guys that makes everything look easy. He loves meeting people. He loves bringing the passion of his career to people wherever he goes.
In fact, Bob has always been a man of many passions. He has a deep and abiding love for his family and a genuine interest in getting to know other people.
For Bob, it's not only been a professional experience, but also a personal experience. Bob has been able to develop relationships with key members of the industry through the association.
Bob and his wife Barbara also have shared a special kind of love with many members of AWCI.
I'm not quite sure how Bob and Barbara got the travel bug, but they have it bad. But they are great ambassadors for the U.S. and for AWCI everywhere they go.
Between he and his beautiful wife Barb, they can be in Tokyo one week, they could be in Italy the next. They could be going down the Rhine River and then visiting somebody in Seattle.
They have so many friends in so many places. It's awesome, and they love to travel, and we love to travel with them.
From a private dinner in a castle in Europe to a midnight power walk through the back streets of Beijing, China, you never know where in the world you'll end up when you travel with Bob and Barbara.
Well, if somebody asked me where in the world Bob was, I'd have to go to a globe, spin the globe, point at any place at random, because he's always some place other than where he's supposed to be, which is home. Nobody ever knows where Bob is.
Even though everyone agrees that this year's Pinnacle honoree is very special, there's major disagreement on what he's really like.
He looks like he could be a celebrity. He could be like a stunt guy for all the other old guys.
Dr. Marcus Welby, MD, could be Cary Grant.
Well, he's tall, he's likable, and easygoing. I would have to say Jimmy Stewart.
Bob reminds me of the character of Indiana Jones. He's got on that floppy hat and he's always out front trying to explore and create.
I don't know, Bob was always somewhere between John Wayne and Scooby-Doo. Sometimes he was just a happy-go-lucky Scooby-Doo. Other times he was the long, tall guy walking in to right all the wrongs and save the day.
If you looked at him, you'd say he looked real confident. He's a kind of a thinker type of person.
Bob's life journey began in Buffalo, New York, where he was born and raised. He was the youngest of 5 children. Bob achieved many successes throughout his high school years.
He was a very, very good athlete. He played tennis, he played golf, he played basketball, was really outstanding.
Bob wasn't so busy that he didn't notice the new girl in town.
Junior year, we got to know each other quite well, and that was a joy. He asked me out, and on the first date, he asked if I would knit him a pair of basketball socks, because all the guys had these orange and black basketball socks. So I knit him, and the poor guy, he was stuck with me forever after. But it's been wonderful.
Eventually, Bob and Barbara married and had 2 daughters, Jackie and Sandy. Theirs was a close-knit family.
We typically had dinner together every night, and we would go camping every summer. When I was really young, Dad was going to night school, and he would be sitting at the kitchen table doing his homework, and we would be sitting there with him quietly, and he would read some poetry or something to us.
Bob took his role as father very seriously, passing on to his children his rules for successful living.
First one was don't spend it all in one place. Second thing Dad taught me was to treat others like you'd want to be treated. Short and sweet.
Don't be stupid. That's probably the biggest, thing he's ever taught me. Don't be an idiot.
Not to trust people that say no problem. Whenever someone says there's no problem, there usually ends up to be a problem.
Bob's early career took some twists and turns until his brother John convinced him to join him in the company he and his partner had started.
He was very enthusiastic about coming with our group. He knew a lot about it because of my telling him.
Sounded a little bizarre after being in industry and so on to become a screw salesman, but boy, it turned out to be the best decision that he or we ever made.
Bob relocated his family to Philadelphia, and they all learned a new business together.
We'd go for crane hunts. Wherever there was a large crane, there was bound to be a construction site that needed drywall screws. Within a year, the Geyers moved again, this time to Florida, where Bob headed up a new grabber office.
We took him down there, and that's where he's been ever since he's started with the company. And he's loved every minute of it, I know.
We all got involved in the business because Bob was working many, many, many hours, and I ended up helping out part-time in the office, and Jackie was a good scout, and Sandy put up with us. It was good.
It was like a family atmosphere, and he was the father figure, so that's why there's so many long-term employees in this area that have stayed with Grabber.
I always think of Bob as being kind of like my business dad. He took me through the ropes. He always had time to talk to me, and he taught me some fundamentals like he sure showed me the fact that a nice guy can finish first, because he was always a great guy.
My first impression of Bob was that he was a very outgoing individual, very friendly, very straightforward man.
The great thing about Bob is you always knew where he stood. There was no gray area with Bob. He told it like it was.
Communications were very open with Bob. He was easy to talk to, and you always understood what he wanted.
Very easy individual to get along with, as long as you were doing your job.
He has a huge baritone voice and a commanding presence, and he can be rather intimidating at times, but Pop's always been fair.
In some ways he was old school, but yet very modern. Old school in that people should be treated with dignity, but modern where he'd rather wear shorts and no tie than wear a tie at all. He often would say, "Do I have to wear big boy pants to this meeting?"
It's no secret that Bob pursued yet another passion in Florida.
In the old days, it was always boating, and he had a couple of boats, and then boating was always a big part of his life.
When we were on the boat, somehow we ended up calling him Captain Sir.
Another experience that comes to mind was when we were on our houseboat in Lake Powell, and the winds were blowing as they normally do, but they were blowing pretty hard this afternoon. We managed to get a rope caught in one of the props in the engines, and you were navigating, and you were able to take that 65-foot houseboat with the winds blowing one engine on through the buoy field, and how we didn't hit anything, I'll never know, but we made it.
He was in charge, and it's a good thing he was in charge because he knew what to do.
Knowing what to do and doing it with skill, smarts, and sweat is what Bob Geyer has always been about. That's why the Association of the Wall and Ceiling Industry is proud to honor him with the 2008 Pinnacle Award.
What he's done with this organization, what he did in our organization, and he's just made a great life for himself, and he deserves every credit that he can get. And I'm so happy that he's got to the pinnacle.
The Pinnacle Award has always been my very favorite activity at the AWCI convention. And to know that you are receiving this means the world. I know to you and to me. And I give you my very, very deepest and heartiest congratulations, honey.
Hi, Dad. Congratulations on winning the Pinnacle Award. We're very proud of you.
Dad, I just want to tell you how proud I am of you. I know growing up, there were several times you were proud of me and Jackie growing up, and now I get to turn the tables and tell you how proud I am of you.
Pop, I'd just like to say congratulations on this incredible award. The 24 years that I've known you, I've always known you to be dedicated to this industry. And if there's anyone that deserves this award, Pop, you sure do.
Congratulations, Pop. This is one of many huge achievements.
Congratulations, Pop. I'm really proud of you. I'm glad that you're my Pop, and congratulations.
Bob, congratulations. You deserve it. You've earned it. You just have done an awesome job, and you throw a huge shadow.
Bob, congratulations. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Bob, congratulations from me and Cindy. Barb, hello. It's been great knowing you all, and thank you.
Congratulations, Bob. It's a wonderful achievement. You deserve it. And I've enjoyed knowing you and your family for the past 24 years. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Good luck.
Congratulations, Bob, on getting the Pinnacle Award. There's nobody in our industry, in our company, or anywhere that I could think of that's more deserving than you. You're a wonderful guy. Congratulations. Way to go.
Congratulations, Bob, on winning the Pinnacle Award. You deserve it. You and Barbara exemplify the spirit of that award and the pinnacle of your profession. You truly deserve the award. Congratulations, and we love you.
When I heard that you were going to achieve the Pinnacle Award, I went up and looked at the definition of pinnacle, and it is the ultimate standard that one can achieve. It is the highest station one could hope to achieve. If ever there was a person who has earned such distinction, it is you. Congratulations, my friend.
Everybody else knows you as Bob or Pop or Mr. Geyer, but Jackie and I get to call you Dad, and it's such an honor and a privilege, and I feel so blessed that God gave me to you.